it's funny because I remember when I, thought about becoming an artist and embracing me being an artist. I always remembered the movies where you see the artist and they'd be so sensitive about what they create. And I always promised myself that I would never be one of those artists who was so emotionally connected to what I create. I always said, oh, I'm not going to be one of those pretentious people. And then I made this 10-foot structure. And when I made this 10-foot structure, I was like, oh, it's the biggest thing ever made. It's the greatest thing ever made. But I didn't think I'd be, emotionally connected to it. But I am. But I'm not connected to its magnitude. I'm not connected to how big it is. I'm connected to one portion of this. And then I'll make sure to put the picture on the side, But I'm connected to this 4-inch, picture. I'm connected to that. That is the greatest thing that I've ever done from my perspective. My heart is in that. Everything I wanted to say in this whole art piece is in 4-inch, 6-inch portion. And I look at that and I get emotional just because I see myself when I look at that. I see the point of the entire piece in that 1 6-inch portion. So now I understand why the artist who makes clothes gets mad when you don't understand the color palette. Now I get it. I didn't understand until I made something this big. And you would look at this whole thing in person, you'd say, oh, there's so much to it. Why do you care about that one portion? And I care about that small corner image so deeply because when I had the idea that was this big, I could boil it down to that. And similar to a scientist who has an entire theory and he, draws on the chalkboard back in the day or in modern, he has a 30-page explanation, but really he only wants to tell you one sentence. So all this, I love every piece of it. I put it all together myself. I put in the work. I built this whole thing 10 foot high just to tell you about this 6 inches. All this just to tell you that feeling that I feel when I look at that is all I wanted to share with the world, And yeah, so if you ever wondered if or why the artist is so sensitive, it's because we're speaking from a place that isn't readily available to our consciousness. And when we dig inside of ourselves and we actually have that portion come out and then we get to see it, it's such an emotional reaction because I didn't have language for this. I didn't Google this. I didn't, the search engine didn't present this information to me. I had to create it with my own hands. I had to find the images, cut out the images, glue the images. I glued 100 images, but I only wanted to tell you this. And yeah, I get emotional. I don't mean to be tearing up about it, but I look at it and I'm just in awe at the point I was able to make to myself. I won't go on a rant, but that's just one to explain. Like, I get it. Now when I watch the artist get dramatic or pretentious about one small aspect of whatever they're trying to show you, I get it. And I laugh now because that is me, So yeah, thank you.